Hello everybody, my name is Graham Elwood. You are watching the Political Vigilante. So Ron Placone and I are going to be doing the Progressive Comedy Tour Down Under in Australia. November 14th, we're in Melbourne, the 15th Adelaide, the 17th Sydney, and the 22nd we will be in Perth. So one of you fine Australian political vigilantes sent me a story from news.com.au, Queensland. This is one of the states in Australia that's to outlaw traffic stopping devices. Devices used by protesters to lock themselves together and block traffic during protests will be made illegal in Queensland, punishable by prison and fines. Huh? So there's a lot of mining in Australia, and there's a lot of fossil fuel. And the ruling class in Australia, of course, is tied into that money. And there's a heavy, from what I understand, there's a lot of environmental groups and protesting groups in Australia, and they're just trying to pass laws to make it harder on people from actually protesting. It's like when the Bush era said, oh, you can protest, but way over here, away from... So they're doing that in Australia. And thanks to a fan down under, you sent me this info. Protesters caught using them will face up to 2 years in prison or a $6,500 fine and up to 1 year behind bars or a $2,600 fine for possessing them. And of course they say, oh, these protesters, they're violent, they're crazy, they're out of control. Were they? Or are they just like, look, the climate is collapsing. People need to take action. They're doing nonviolent protests. And now they're going to just outlaw. They already get fined and arrested, right? Like, you know that as a protester, like, I'm going to block this doorway, or I'm going to lock myself to this thing on the Capitol building or whatever. I know I'm going to get arrested. So now they're doubling up fines on it. You can't possess things to lock. Okay. Dozens of Extinction Rebellion climate protesters have been arrested in recent weeks, but Premier Anastasia Palaszczuk told Parliament on Tuesday she believes new laws are needed. Well, I'd like to know where she gets her funding from. Come on, Anastasia, who's paying you? My guess is she gets money from the lobby groups and stuff like that. I don't know exactly how Australian politics work, but I'm sure there's some way to figure that out. However, the global movement Southeast Queensland Arm says claims protesters are booby-trapping devices are baseless, and doing so would go against their nonviolent principles. So they have nonviolent principles. So we see this tactic in the States, and we see it elsewhere. We've even seen it in France. People are protesting, and then the cops try to agitate them to start a fight, and then they say, oh, the protesters are violent. With police, we had no other choice. Come on. So they're saying the protesters are causing all these things. Like, no, we don't even do that. That goes against our nonviolent policy. Greens MP Michael Berkman said the move was a steady creep on people's rights to take part in civil disobedience and an effort to silence dissent. Yeah, I love when they say you shouldn't shut stuff down, you shouldn't protest. Well, then what's a protest? So I say get creative on how to shut stuff down. I talk about the Tokyo bus driver strike. So the bus drivers union was in a labor dispute with ownership, and instead of shutting the buses down, which Tokyo is a city like New York, it's like Manhattan, most people don't own cars. Majority of the population is dependent upon public transportation. So instead of making it hard on the people that take public transportation, what they did, one day, nobody paid a fare. Everyone got on the bus for free. So everybody got where they needed to go. The buses were on time and all that. But the company that didn't want to pay the new salary wages, the increase, and give the bus drivers what they were asking for, they lost millions of dollars that day. Nobody got hurt. Nobody got it, right? Wasn't that clever? I think of clever ways to get involved. So if you live in Australia, there's a website, climatechangeprotest.net.au. This talks about all the different protests happening all over Australia. It's a pretty amazing site go to it. So I always talk about this, get involved on a local level. And I know many of you live in Australia. I know many of you live all over the world, not just in the United States and Canada. So get involved locally. That's what it's going to take, because climate change is not, it's not going to care when the environment, it's already collapsing. It's not going to care if you're rich living in America or Australia. It doesn't care how much you make. It doesn't care your education level. It doesn't care your ethnicity. Climate, when it starts, it's already happening. Species are dying. Half the planet's on fire. Indonesia, the Amazon, Africa. I mean, we're coming up on fire season in California. That'll happen. There's fires in Australia. I know they go through that. They've had severe drought. Everyone's got to get involved. Nonviolent resistance is what it's going to take. So here's one way to do it if you live in Australia. climatechangeprotest.net.au. And come see Ron Placone and I when we're down under. Progressive Comedy Tour. Like I said, November 14th, Melbourne. Tickets for that show are going fast. Adelaide the 15th, 17th in Sydney. Tickets for that show are going fast. And the 22nd in Perth. So tickets, Perth and Adelaide, tickets are still moving there too. So some, if not all of these shows in Australia are going to sell out. We're 3 months away and it's already, tickets are selling. So go to GrahamElwood.com to enjoy those shows. If you're in Australia, we appreciate it. And of course, no matter where you live, you can support this show by going to patreon.com/GrahamElwood. That's where Robin from Australia submitted this article. You can participate in the content of this show. I'm just one little guy in an apartment, so I need your help. I need your help financially. You can go to rockfin.com/GrahamElwood. Also like, subscribe, and share these videos. Watch the ads all the way through. If you click skip ad, I don't get paid. All my videos are on Rockfin ad-free, so if you go on Rockfin, please endorse my videos and think about subscribing to Rockfin on a monthly basis. A lot of great ways to support the show. I really appreciate it, because all you are all doing is you're making, where is it? Gotham great again. Oh no, that's not the logo. Well, that was a big bust, right? How about this one? This one? There we go. Maybe I'll edit that out. Maybe we'll leave it in. Go to GrahamElwood.com. Follow me on social media. Thanks for watching. You're all making Gotham great again. And we'll see you down under in November.